recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivial Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivial Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Chris.
Yo, we going down to Sesame Street.
That's your impression of hardcore rap?
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list. Oh my God.
You were like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
And the rest of the Trivial Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello, trivia nerds. Welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan, and I am here today with Mr. Ben Young. Hello, Ben.
Good afternoon.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Spider-Man on the loose today?
Always.
Always. Very good.
Nobody put Spider-Man in a corner.
You have a pair of headphones on and another pair of headphones around your neck.
I do. What? Oh, these are my Bluetooth.
Still?
Yeah.
I'm looking at
my phone.
Wow, he's like extra hooked up over there.
When you get Bluetooth hookups for these things, and I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it was like that. You want me to put your Bluetooth controller into my computer?
If you want.
No, I don't.
Okay.
When you get
I don't like the way you said that was sexually charged. I don't like how those words rolled off of your tongue like that.
I need to learn whatever it is I just did so I can do that when I want to and not accidentally
really
to Ben. Jeez. In-house, we have Mr. Sam Mitchell. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Welcome back, my friend.
That's right.
Sam is local to Jacksonville, so I enjoy bringing him in here every now and again. And on the phone today, we have Mr. Drew Buxbaum. Hello, Drew.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, my friend. We have Mr. Patrick Smith. Hello, Patrick.
Hello, everybody.
And we have Mr. Josh Mullan. Hello, Josh.
Howdy, howdy.
All right, we want to get to know everybody a little bit better. So, Drew, we're going to start with you. Tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
All right. I am Drew. I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey, and I work in property management. Nice, boring stuff right there. I mean, something interesting about me, it's probably something the same that's interesting about you. We're going to Geek Bowl next week.
Woo!
Well, it'll have already happened when people hear this, but, it's next week for me now. And we've actually come up with a permanent team name to counter the Sinister Six.
What are you? The Nasty Nine?
We're the Legion of Doom.
Ah.
We went to DC.
Do you have a floating head fortress thing? What's that called?
You'll have to find out.
The Fortress of Doom. I don't know what that thing's called. The Hall of Injustice. I don't know, something.
Yep.
Patrick, your turn. Tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Well, I'm from Northern Virginia. I work for the government. I guess the most fun thing I do is I subject my kids to hours and hours of Trivial Warfare and car trips.
Well, that's teaching them right. That's growing them up right.
It's gotten pretty funny now when I put it on and the bass line starts. I hear the kids go like, "Oh no!" But then I hear them, imitating like Ben in the introduction. The car seat behind me, I hear my daughter say, "And we'll take a pause for the cause that's worth up to 20 juicy points." And my older daughter loves Carmela, so she does the intro and always says, "I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting." Every time.
That's hilarious.
That's really
I love
funny.
it. Very cool. And Mr. Josh Mullan, where you from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
I'm from the Seattle area. Also work for the government in tax collection, so I can one-up you, Drew, in the relative perceived boredom of my job. Something fun about myself. Well, some people might not find it fun, but since you called us nerds at the beginning, I think it's fair game. I really enjoy puzzle hunt events, logic puzzles, things like that. Go to one every year. It's hosted at Microsoft. So, hey, if you're in the Seattle area, first weekend in May, let me know. 31 straight hours of just sitting in a room and doing doing puzzles. Real fun guy over here.
Sounds like
guy.
paradise.
It's amazing. There's a lot of overlap between puzzles and trivia in my mind, but
That's awesome.
sometimes it's not everybody's game.
And like Weird Al, Josh is straight out of Linwood.
That is correct.
Oh, wow.
All right, last but not least, Mr. Sam Mitchell.
What's
I
up?
think they know where you're from, but what do you do and something fun about yourself?
Yeah, I'm born and raised right here in Jacksonville. IT guy by day for a recruiting company out at the beach, and then trivia guy at nights where I host a couple shows a week. But fun fact, I've also started my own podcast, which I now understand the struggle that you have on a weekly basis.
It's a little bit harder than it seems, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard. It's real hard.
I love it when people start podcasts. I'm like, yeah, now you know. It's like, why doesn't it just work when you plug it in? Oh, my God.
Last week we lost the recording, and you just want to cry.
It's just awful.
It's just the worst.
Yeah. That's heartbreaking.
What's the name of it?
It's the Dinner Guest Rejects. It's just a pop culture type of comedy.
Very cool.
I don't know how to describe it. So
How many episodes in are you?
30
Whoa,
episodes in.
That's nice. Dinner Guest Rejects.
That's right.
Give it a try, folks. All right, so now that we know everybody, I think it's time for Warm It Up, Chris.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
The part of Chris is going to be played by Jonathan today, and I can tell you that we have a set of first lines from works of literature.
Oh boy.
Crap. You know, I'm feeling pretty warm right now. Let's just go right.
This is sent to us by Blaine Holderbaum. She hooked us up with some first lines from major works of literature. I'm going to give you the first line. You're going to tell me what book it came from. We're going to start with Sam.
Oof.
Sam. Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say that they were perfectly normal. Thank you very much.
It's not a good when everyone nods their head yes, and I'm just sitting here.
Oh, no.
Stumped. I have no idea.
Oh, no.
I don't know who the Durdsleys are.
Oh, no. Oh, this is awful. Somebody help him out.
That is Harry Potter.
It is.
Well, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Yes,
Sorry.
thank you.
Yeah, I've never read those.
That seems like a gap in your knowledge, my friend.
Sure is.
That's a really
Watch
good
that be
series.
like the only one I knew on there.
Evidently, one of my teammates has read Harry Potter, so I got that going for me.
All right, Josh. Since you just got one, I'm going to give you the harder one here.
Well, that
Yeah,
doesn't seem
sucks to be
entirely
you.
fair.
It was a queer, sultry summer, the summer they electrocuted the Rosenbergs, and I didn't know what I was doing in New York.
I'm
I
gonna
gotta
have
guess.
to, just because of New York, I'm gonna just guess that this is The Great Gatsby.
It is not, but good guess. Who else has a guess?
I think it's Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah.
It is not Catcher in the Rye.
Okay,
That was my guess.
It is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath.
Holy crap.
so that's a book.
All right, Drew.
Yeah. All right.
It was a pleasure to burn.
Fahrenheit 451.
That is correct.
I knew that one. I knew that one.
Yeah, sure you did. You don't even know.
Excellent job.
You don't even know Harry Potter. You just sit there and be quiet. Patrick. When he was nearly 13, my brother Jim got his arm badly broken at the elbow. When it healed, and Jim's fears of never being able to play football were assuaged, he was seldom self-conscious about his injury.
I feel like that's something I should know, but I don't.
I know it.
Who wants to help him out?
That's me. To Kill a Mockingbird.
To Kill a Mockingbird is correct. Harper Lee. Jim was spelled Jem. All right. Ben.
Yep.
Where's Papa going with that axe, said Fern.
Crap. I know this.
Is that from the Crap I Know This series?
Yeah.
Book 3.
I think I read this in 11th grade, but I can't think of the title.
Probably before that.
Probably
Yeah.
before that?
Yeah.
Before in the 90s?
Before you were in the 11th grade.
I was in 11th grade in the 90s. That's when I would have read it.
I'm saying that the difficulty level is not an 11th grader difficulty level.
Oh. I don't know.
Who has the answer?
It's Charlotte's Web.
Charlotte's Web is correct.
I've
E.B.
never
White.
read that.
Really?
I've never read that.
Oh, that's a good book. Sam, Call Me Ishmael.
Oh, that's Moby Dick.
Oh, Sam is on the board.
Good job, Sam.
Redemption. Josh, where am I?
All right, you better. I've known every single one except for Sylvia Plath, so please.
Welcome to my world right here.
Well, here we go. Let's see. In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since. Whenever you feel like criticizing anyone, he told me, just remember all the people in this world haven't had the advantages you've had.
I don't know. And if this is The Great Gatsby and I don't guess that, but I guessed it for the first one, I'm going to be really upset. I'm going to guess The Great Gatsby for this one as well.
The correct answer is The Great Gatsby.
Hot dog!
Nice.
You did that to me on purpose, sir.
I did.
I was sitting here trying to keep a poker face because I'm like, crap, it's Gatsby this time.
You're darn right I did. I skipped around just to make that happen. Drew, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair.
Crap, I should know that.
He gave you the first chapter.
There was no period in that
man.
sentence.
And trust me, I've asked this one before too.
I think that's just one sentence, right?
It was one sentence. Drew, just forget the rest
it's
of
a
it.
nice little run-on.
Forget the rest of it. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times, my man.
That's the part you need.
Yeah, I know that's the part I need. But I'm gonna be stupid here and not know it.
All right, Patrick, do you know it? It sounds like you might.
That's A Tale of Two Cities.
It is A Tale of Two Cities. You're darn right it is. All right, Patrick, your turn. If you really want to hear about it, the first thing you'll probably want to know is where I was born and what my lousy childhood was like and how my parents were occupied all before they had me and all that David Copperfield kind of crap. But I don't feel like going into it if you want to know the truth.
I'm quickly learning that the first sentence in the Cliff Notes is not the same as the book. But considering that Jonathan is being diabolical, that I think is Catcher in the Rye.
It is the Catcher in the Rye. And I didn't have to be diabolical. That was in order. It was perfect. Okay. All right, Ben.
Yep.
You better not tell nobody but God.
You better not tell nobody but God. Southern, obviously. I don't know. This one escapes me.
Does anybody want to help him?
It's like a Mark Twain.
Nope.
I got nothing.
This is a book by Alice Walker.
Oh, The Color Purple.
The Color Purple.
It kill your mama. That's the second sentence, I think. Don't better tell about it kill your mama. Yeah. Okay. I should have guessed that. I don't know why I did.
I was disappointed in you, Ben.
Sorry.
It's all right. On the whole, I'm never disappointed in you. I think you're amazing. But just for that brief second, I was like, man, golly.
If you had said it kill your mama, I would have guessed that.
I didn't have that line in my paper here.
I know.
Blaine, why you mess with Ben like that? All right. Sam. Christmas won't be Christmas without any presents, grumbled Joe, lying on the rug.
Grumbled Joe.
Spelled J-O.
A Christmas Carol?
Negative. Not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Little Women.
Little Women.
Yeah.
Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Joe,
yeah.
Meg, Beth, and Amy.
Yeah.
Gotta know your Little Women. Golly, Moses.
That's the only movie I did not watch. Was that Little Women?
The new one, yeah.
I did not watch that one.
That's fair. Okay, so next up is Josh. In a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit. Not a nasty, dirty, wet hole filled with the ends of worms and oozy smell, nor yet a dry, bare, sandy hole with nothing to sit down on or eat. It was a hobbit hole, and that means comfort.
See, I'm not positive whether this is The Hobbit or The Fellowship of the Ring.
I am.
And that's the well, good. I'm glad you are. I would have to guess that this is The Hobbit.
It is The Hobbit.
Okay, good.
Good job.
Nice.
All right, Drew, you obviously know your literature.
No, I do not.
You were very certain a moment ago.
Of literary first lines before.
Here you go. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of good fortune must be in want of a wife.
Yeah, no idea whatsoever. I'm not going to waste anyone's time.
Oh, man, come on. That's a huge first line. All right, anybody?
I have a guess of Pride and Prejudice.
It is Pride and Prejudice. Thank you. Yes. That was a well done guess. All right. Patrick. I first met Dean not long after my wife and I split up. I had just gotten over a serious illness that I won't bother to talk about, except it had something to do with the miserably weary split up and my feeling that everything was dead.
I got nothing.
I'll give you a hint. It's not a comedy.
This is a challenging one. This is one of the harder ones. This one and the Sylvia Plath might have been the hardest ones. Does anybody have a guess?
Nope.
This is Jack Kerouac's On the Road.
Okay.
And last but not least, Ben.
Sure.
It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13.
I want to say Alice in Wonderland, but I don't think it starts like that.
You don't want to say Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, you
Clocks
don't.
were striking 13. I don't know, dude.
Oh, anybody want to help him out?
It's 1984.
1984, George Orwell. And that is your warming up Chris question of the episode. Thank you, Blaine. Good job. Nice mix there. So,
Honestly, that went way better than I thought for a literature.
I think y'all did great.
Chris question. That was pretty good, actually.
I'm feeling good about my teammates.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry, Jonathan.
Mine doesn't know The Hobbit or Harry Potter. No, not The Hobbit. Not The Hobbit.
I got the Hobbit.
Little Women.
Yeah.
But you know both of those, so at least you compliment each other well in
That's
that
right.
way.
What
Thank
do you
thank
know?
Ben.
What do you know?
I know stuff.
Stuff. Okay.
For a perfect compliment, you need to know James Bond
Yes. Do you know James Bond?
and any current movie that's not a kid's movie.
Oh, I got that.
Do you know any current events?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're teammates. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. I don't want to do teams yet. I want to let you know. So we have the best patrons in the world, and if you're interested in supporting this show, you can do that at trivialwarfarearmy.com. That is the way that you earn the right to come on the show. And for those of you who are waiting to come on the show, I want to let you know that we have reached out to a lot of people and have had a hard time reaching you. Please make sure you set your spam filters to accept mail from Katie at trivialwarfare.com. Katie is spelled Katie at trivialwarfare.com, so that when she sends you an invite or asks if you're available, that you get the message. All right? So, today's game. It's Jonathan and Sam versus the trio of Patrick, Drew, and Josh. Ben is hosting, and it's time to play the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on. Round 1, question 1, your category is The Golden Girls.
Oh, love it.
Nearly every scene of The Golden Girls was set at the house that they shared. Which of the girls owned the house?
Whew. I've never thought
I can lock it in if you want.
Please do.
Drew, you good with that?
I'm good with that.
All right, Patrick, write it down and circle it, bro.
I have a guess, but no thunder, so roll with it.
I'm locked in.
Sam.
Huh, yeah.
Well, it's either Sophia, Dorothy, Blanche, or Rose.
We have 25% chance.
Yes. Something makes me think it might be Rose.
That's what I was thinking, too. And Sophia's the mom, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's her because she's living.
I'm Sophia, by the way.
Are you?
Oh, yes.
Of our group, yeah.
I don't think it's her
He's
because she was
Blanche.
living with them.
Right.
So I don't think they were living with her.
I mean, you would think it might be Dorothy because Dorothy's the responsible one.
Yeah. I thought it was Rose, too. That was my
But
initial
something
gut.
about Rose makes me think it might be her.
I agree.
Let's do that.
Okay.
We're saying Rose.
All right.
I believe the answer is Blanche.
It is Blanche. Rose actually moved out at one point,
Oh, no.
and then soon after moved back in.
Yep.
That's just kayfabe.
Yeah, so this golden girl actually had the house left to her from her husband who passed away. And then she later picked up another one of the golden girls via an ad that she put in. It was actually Blanche. Blanche's
Oh,
house.
man.
And yeah, her and Rose got into a huge tiff on one of the episodes and told Rose to move out. And she moved out and moved right back in.
I'm so disappointed in us.
Yeah, me too. But I'm
All right.
impressed how much they know about Golden Girls.
I am, too.
Dude, I love the Golden Girls. Are you kidding me?
I would say in that era, it was probably one of the best sitcoms of its era for sure. It's amazing.
You know what's awesome? It was about a bunch of 50-year-old retired women.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there like, that's what 50-year-old looked like.
Like, you wouldn't think that a bunch of retirees, many of them widows, would be a funny show with them just sitting around eating cheesecake, but it is hilarious.
That show's amazing.
All right, your second question round is in Ben Murders a Hit.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Is it a mega hit?
Name. Don't steal my thunder.
Give him a chance with this.
Don't steal my meow meows.
He's like, it was number 13 for 1 week in 1974.
Listen, name this 1998 mega hit.
What year?
1998.
98. All right,
which
I'm out.
peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. I guarantee you.
Not even number 1.
This is a mega hit. This is a mega hit.
You're so dumb.
This is not debatable. All right, y'all ready? Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. We might have took the long way. We knew we'd get there someday. All right, reading back your lyrics. Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. We mighta took the long way. We knew we'd get there someday. So name the song.
That's doggone Panic at the Disco song recently is jumping into my mind, and it's way wrong date for that crap. All right, we're locked in.
All right. It's guys, I got this. It's still the one by Shania Twain.
Nice. I actually know that song, but I didn't place it.
Even knowing the song, I can't. It sounds totally familiar, but I can't hear it. I'm glad that you know it.
Yeah.
I couldn't get Barry Manilow's "Looks Like We Made It" out of my head.
All right.
Yeah, we'll lock that in.
All right. So Sam and I got into a long discussion using all of our musical knowledge about the era and the trends and forces that impacted the music of the era. And then we realized that we didn't actually have any of that information, and everything we were saying was just like farts in the wind. So we locked in with Backstreet's Back.
All right. Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. It is You're Still the One by Shania Twain.
Nice, Drew.
That was a really good job, Drew.
Good job.
All right.
Not my genre.
Genre?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Genre.
Love it.
I listen to a little of everything, so
I do too, but that was she's never been one of my favorites. She's never made her way onto one of my playlists.
okay.
Your last question round is in Food and Love. Maurizio Catalan, at a 2019 art show in Florida, created a 6-figure work of art by duct taping what to a gallery wall?
We can lock that in.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, we
Right there.
probably can too, right?
We're locked in.
All right. You guys can talk.
It's a banana.
Banana, right?
Banana.
So we'll lock in with banana.
We'll lock in banana.
All right.
We said banana.
Yeah, it was in fact a banana. Yeah, this guy he kind of has a reputation for doing like silly things for art, but it's kind of out there, you know. And then there was actually a video of somebody like taking the banana off the wall and eating it. I don't know if it's the same guy.
That was a performance piece.
Yeah, I guess.
Obviously, it was part of the whole thing. That made it worth twice as much.
There you go.
Was that real or was that fake? The banana eating? Do we know?
Yeah, it was real.
Was that fake or real?
That was a real video. I saw a video, but somebody actually took a bite of it.
Yeah, the person who bought it was pissed. They were hoping to watch it decompose, I
think
guess.
they bought it for like $100,000.
$120,000. 6-figure.
Yeah.
At the end of the first round, it's 30-10. Josh, Drew, and Patrick haven't missed anything yet.
Nice.
How rich do you have to be
You had to say that?
to spend $120,000 on a banana duct tape to a wall? Like, how much money?
I mean, why don't you just go buy a banana and buy some duct tape and do it yourself for less than 10?
Because if you're rich enough, you've got enough influence, you could just say that you did it. You could buy influence to convince people you did it yourself for less than $120,000.
You could pay a butler $50,000 a year every day to tape up a fresh banana in your house.
That's true. That's true. And that's good money in South Florida. Round 2, question 1. Your category is Chip and Dale. What was the subtitle of Chip and Dale's TV series, which premiered on the Disney Channel in 1989?
I can lock it in if you guys want to talk about it.
We're locked in, bro.
We're locked in.
Okay,
Y'all can talk.
No discussion needed.
Yeah, no discussion really needed. Rescue Rangers.
Rescue Rangers. Chip and Dale.
Rescue Rangers. Yeah, let's. Yeah,
Right.
you good with that?
It's good to have young people on my team.
Yeah, we'll lock in Rescue Rangers.
My favorite part of that is when the Chippendales dancers did their version of the Rescue Rangers. That was a very popular show. It really was.
I don't think we watched the same
Yeah, I don't think I saw that too.
No? Oh, shoot. All right, well, we did say Rescue Rangers.
Correct answer is Rescue Rangers. What was funny about that show, looking back at it as I was researching, I was like, one of them was dressed just like Indiana Jones, and the other one was dressed just like Magnum P.I.
I don't think I ever realized that. That's funny.
I didn't realize as a kid, you don't make those connections, but looking back on it, like,
That's funny.
They totally were dressed like
As
that.
a kid, you had never seen Magnum P.I.
Oh, I totally watched Magnum P.I.
Oh, you did?
Yes, because my mom was in love with Tom Selleck, and we watched everything he made.
It's always weird to me in those older cartoons when animals are wearing clothes, but never pants.
Yes, absolutely.
He's just wearing the Indiana Jones coat.
Right.
No pants. Man, opened Hawaiian shirt. No pants.
Let's be honest. Pants on an animal, that's kind of weird.
So are clothes.
No. Pants. It would look completely different if you put pants on a chipmunk, bro. I don't think anybody would watch it.
All right. Your second question around is in Chippendales. The famous dance troupe gets its name from the New York club where it was invented. The nightclub, whose original name was Destiny 2, was renamed to highlight which of the venue's physical features?
Do it again.
The famous dance troupe gets its name from the New York club where it was invented. The nightclub, whose original name was Destiny 2, was renamed to highlight which of the venue's physical features?
How do you spell 2?
II, so like Super Bowl 2, Destiny II.
I mean, I don't think it's a physical feature, but we got nothing better.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, we're going to lock in.
Okay.
Anyone have any idea?
I can think of certain physical features that were highlighted at Chippendales, but I think it was renamed before that. So I think it's a club's physical features, not the dancers that we're trying to find. I can't think of what a Chippendale would be in relation to a part of a club. But I mean, I got nothing.
Yeah, I got less than nothing.
Yeah, I can't think.
Shockingly, Chippendales are not my area of expertise.
Right. So, like, the roof could look like a chip.
Well, if it's in New York, it's going to be in some high rise, and you're never going to see the roof.
Okay, got it. The windows had a chip.
That's actually probably not a bad guess. Where they have an ice machine that gives you chips.
The room is
They
round.
had that
like
good ice.
chip.
The good ice. The good chip ice.
Chippendale. Chippendale. If I say it over and over again, is that going to help anybody? Because
No, I just have Rescue Rangers stuck in my head like the theme song over and over and over again.
What about, can you do like Spanish? Like Chippendale? Is that Chippendale?
I guess that's an explanation of why Chippendale didn't wear pants, right?
Oh. The truth comes out.
Oh my God.
It's
They were
Chippendales.
making money on the
Rescue
side as dancers. The Rescue Rangers.
I got nothing. I mean, window is got to be my best guess, but it's not a good guess.
Yeah, I got nothing. Let's just roll with it. Take us out of Missouri.
Window sounds good.
Locked in.
Okay.
What were we thinking?
Well, we broke down the word after staring at it for about...
Like, we broke it down.
Yeah. So we went with the last part of it, into ale, and hoping ALE had something to do with beer. So we went with...
We actually went all the way with it. We said it could stand for chips and ale.
Yeah.
Chips and ale. Maybe it's the bar.
We thought about it. Let's hope.
So we said the bar.
When the owners bought this nightclub, they decided to rename it to emphasize the Chippendale furniture that was inside the club. That was a style of furniture named after Thomas Chippendale. So the answer is furniture.
Oh.
Would you count a window as a piece of furniture?
Can I go to Rooms to Go and buy windows?
I can buy a bar at Lazy Boy.
Yeah, I don't think Chippendale made bars.
Oh, whatever. We both missed it. We wasted a lot of time too. We didn't even come close.
All right.
10 points for Ben.
So I asked those two questions to get to this category name, which is Chips in Dells.
Wow. Was
that in or and? Chips in Dells?
N-I-N Dells. D-E-L-L-S. Due to shortages of Intel chipsets, the world's third largest PC maker is looking to shift more dramatically to using chipsets from what company? Intel's chief competitor.
I want to run it by you guys, but I think I got it.
Yeah, I got a pretty good idea too.
We're locked in.
Okay.
This is one of those when I hear it, I'll know it. So, what do you guys got?
AMD?
AMD is what I got.
All right.
Okay, good. That's what I was thinking. So, we'll lock in AMD.
Once upon a time, I used to make all my computers myself, and it was always a challenge to decide did I want to go with a Intel chipset or an AMD chipset. So we said AMD.
I also have built multiple PCs. The first two that I built were AMD, and the last two I built were Intel. The answer is AMD.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. What does AMD stand for again?
I don't know.
I think it's something micro devices.
Advanced
I think it's
micro devices.
Intel's chief competitor. I think just they use the letters from other words.
The ICC.
Yeah.
At the end of the second round, score is 50-30. Patrick, Drew, and Josh have the lead.
Okay. Your third round begins with a question in literature.
Literature.
What
Literature.
Anybody else?
Wait for it.
Is this the first line of a book? Because
Nah, I think that's played out. What European author wrote The Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man?
How good are you at literature, Sam?
I've never read Harry Potter, so.
Shoot, that's right. I forgot about that.
Guys, don't stress too much. I have this. I just want to run it by you.
Excellent.
Okay.
That's the person whose names come to mind. You don't know who that is?
Yeah, no.
Let me think about it for a couple of minutes here, or for a minute maybe. This is one of those where I literally get it wrong all the time. And it's like, how am I going to miss it again?
Well, we're happy you do.
I'm a good confirmation guy on this one. When you say the right answer, I can nod.
That's our answer. We're going to lock in.
Okay. I'm second guessing myself now.
Well,
Hold on.
so the only what I wrote down was Hemingway, but I don't know that he was European.
Okay.
He's American.
I don't think he was European. So
Isn't that the full title of wait, can we read it again? Sorry.
It's okay. What European author wrote The Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man?
No, never mind.
No, let's say it. What do you got?
He had Jane Austen.
Rescue Rangers.
I was thinking Oscar Wilde at first, but I'm very much second guessing myself.
I like it. It's definitely an English or Irish guy.
I think that's it. I get Wilde and Hemingway confused.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, let's roll
I
with it.
shouldn't, but I do. That's which is why I'm surprised I did as well on the warm it up. I say let's do Oscar Wilde.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. So this question, for some reason, is one of those questions that I just continually miss time and time again. The name that came to mind was Dylan Thomas, so we went with Dylan Thomas.
The Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man was written by James Joyce.
Oh.
Joyce.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, there's your Irish.
I was right going Irish.
Yeah.
Golly, Moses. I mean, I miss it every time.
I knew it wasn't Dylan Thomas. I knew it was somebody
Thanks.
I knew.
Thanks.
And I don't know Dylan Thomas, but
That makes two of us.
I knew you were wrong. Thank you for that.
All right, your second question round comes to us from Rob Warman.
Oh, thank you, Rob.
Category sports. What dying, dangerous sport once held the world record for fastest ball speed at over 188 miles per hour?
We are locked in.
I think that's
All right.
highlight, right?
We got some meow meows over here.
Oh, it's absolutely highlight. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Highlight.
Yeah.
Meow meow.
We also went with highlight.
Yes, correct answer is highlight. I watched a YouTube video of this as part of my research just so I can get a good feel for it.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. All the big highlight players all come from this particular region in Spain. I think it's It's one of those regions in
was
Spain.
Brazil.
The Basque region.
I think it's popular in Brazil, but a lot of the big players come from
The Basque region.
Basque. It's
Okay.
a Basque sport.
How about that?
And you can only play right-handed because the way that the wall is set up. If you try to throw left-handed, it goes out of bounds. So,
So
So do
Keith Lee
you
is a
get
big
your
highlight player.
equipment at Basque Pro Shops?
Oh, see, I was saying Keith Lee must be a big highlight player because they bask in his glory.
Bask in his glory. Yeah. Yours is a little bit. Yeah, Basque Pro Shops. That pun, it caused physical pain. Like I was like, oh man, that was bad. All right, so your last question before the midpoint is: I was told there would be no math.
Excellent.
All right, I'm tapping out now.
A rectangular array of numbers is known by what term, which is eponymous to a movie franchise and a former Toyota model?
I can lock it in, guys, if you needed to.
Yeah, go ahead. Me too.
100% locked in.
Okay.
I even know.
So I'm like, what the hell does a rectangular array mean? But Sam's over here like, I got this.
I got this. Math is terrible, just for me at least, but I know this one. We locked in with Matrix.
Okay.
And math is beautiful, not terrible. I just need to clear that
it's
up.
terrible, but
It
I got
can
it
be
from
both.
the car.
It's terribly beautiful.
It is Matrix.
Yep, it is Matrix. All right, score check.
At the end of the third round, the score is 70-50. Same team in the lead.
All right, your midpoint is in the National Basketball Association.
All right.
Since the advent of the draft lottery in 1985, 7 first overall picks have won at least one NBA title. For 4 points each, I want you to name 5 of those 7 players.
This is one of those times I wish I paid more attention to the NBA draft.
Yeah, I got 3 of them for sure. Yeah, just make a list of any top picks you can think of.
Done.
I was hoping for more on that list. I got 5 you can guess.
That sounds fantastic.
We're locked in.
Okay.
All right, so run through your list. What do you got?
Definites are David Robinson, LeBron James, and Shaquille O'Neal. Kyrie Irving, would he win with the Cavs and get traded after that? Or was
He won with the Cavs.
So that's 4. My thoughts for the 5th are, did Kevin Garnett ever win?
Yes.
He did? You like that better
with
than
Boston.
Never Nervous Purvis Ellison?
He won with Boston.
Oh, all right. Yeah, good call. All right, so we'll lock in David Robinson, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kevin Garnett.
All right, I'm good
I
with
concur.
Okay.
it. I had 3 of those on my list. We're good.
So Sam, you had some thunder on some of these.
Yeah, it makes me feel good that they said all our names at least. The ones we
were talking about.
Yeah.
So I started us off with Olajuwon because I feel like he was a number 1 overall, and then the rest of these really came from you.
All right.
So you said LeBron.
Right.
You said Tim Duncan.
Correct.
You said Shaq.
I did.
And you said Kyrie Irving.
I did.
So that's what we locked in with.
I believe Olajuwon was 84 a year before this question.
Uh-oh.
Maybe.
So here are your answers. David Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal, Glenn Robinson, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Tim Duncan, and Andrew Bogut. Yeah, Olajuwon was too early.
So we both got 4? Or did you guys get 5?
No, y'all
We
guessed
got 4.
Kevin Garnett, which is
They
So there's
got
no
4.
Kevin Garnett.
Yep.
yeah, he wasn't a number 1 pick.
I did go with Greg Oden. He was on the Heat, but they lost that year.
He was arguing for
I actually
Oden.
had Glenn Robinson as one of my lists and Never Nervous Purvis, but I couldn't remember if either of them won. Who did Glenn Robinson win with?
At the end of his career, he was a backup for the Spurs in 05.
At the end of the midpoint, 86-66. Patrick, Josh, and Drew in the lead.
All right.
Your 4th round begins with a question in literature.
Literature.
Prospero was a magician in which Shakespearean play, which was initially labeled as a comedy?
I feel like it's this one. I feel like it's that one. I'm not sure. I'm not good at Shakespeare, but I feel like that's the one.
Okay. I trust you.
Scary. All right, we're going to lock in.
Okay.
Let's not all talk
Three
at once.
pauses. That's good.
How could it originally be a comedy?
My Shakespeare knowledge is no good.
Yeah,
Like, for whatever
I'm right
reason,
there with you.
magician makes me think Tempest, and I don't know why. But from what I know of Tempest, I also don't think it could have ever been a comedy. So basically what I said is just no use whatsoever. So you're welcome.
But it was a good job saying it. I mean, it was well
it is a
put.
Shakespearean play, so it's got that working.
Oh, man. I got nothing.
I'm fine with Tempest.
Yeah, let's just do it to get out of our misery. We'll lock in Tempest.
Okie dokie.
The one that came to my mind with the name Prospero is Merchant of Venice, and the comedy part. If I'm not crazy, I feel like the Merchant of Venice is where the pound of flesh came from, and so it could have been like a violent thing that maybe it was a comedy, but then it got relabeled. I don't know. But I feel like at some point in the past, I remember like saying the Merchant of Venice magician. How do those go together? So I'm hoping that's the connection, and we said the Merchant of Venice.
Pretty sure that the pound of flesh came from the Two Gentlemen of Verona, because I read that in middle school. When Shakespeare first released his plays in what was called a folio, it was called Comedies and Tragedies. So all of the plays were broken into either a comedy or a tragedy. Later, the consensus is that they kind of renamed it as a romance. They kind of said there's this whole subcategory place called romances. And The Tempest was one such romance. It is The Tempest.
Oh!
Fantastic.
Yikes. Man, that's... We don't need them getting things right.
I don't know what it is.
We don't need them getting things right when they don't know the answer. The hell is that?
Pulled that right out of my Jonathan.
Your second question of the round is in food and love. What 4-letter seasoning has a base of allspice and Scotch bonnet peppers and often includes onion, garlic, cinnamon, nutmeg, and brown sugar?
Oh, Jesus. I didn't realize we were going to have a list like that. Whoa. Go again?
What 4-letter seasoning has a base of allspice and Scotch bonnet peppers and often includes onion, garlic, cinnamon, nutmeg, and brown sugar? To clarify, I did say often includes. That's not an exclusive list nor an exhaustive one.
And you called this a seasoning?
This is a seasoning.
Don't stress out about it too much, guys. I want to check it with you, but I'm pretty sure I got it.
I like the sound of that.
I'm an expert in both food and love, so.
I would say I am as
in
well, but I don't mix them, so.
Yeah, George Costanza showed that was dangerous.
But pastrami is the most sensual of the salted cured meats.
Oh, it's struggle bus. All right, we're locked in.
All right, guys, so I'm pretty sure, so a Scotch bonnet is pretty similar to a habanero, but in Caribbean cuisine, it's referred to as a Scotch bonnet a lot. And I'm pretty sure this is a jerk seasoning, because it always has allspice and Scotch bonnet, but it can have all those other things too. So
I completely agree with you on that.
I concur, definitely.
We will say jerk.
Okay.
I lost my score page. That's weird.
We're winning.
Jerk.
Should have thought of that.
You know, the pepper. I knew they were hot, but I couldn't think of anything. We said a roux.
Well, that doesn't
I like their answer.
Well, their answer actually does have 4 letters in it. Answer is jerk.
Roux has 4 letters.
Oh, roux has 4 letters.
R-O-U-X.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thanks a lot. We already feel bad.
Oh. So I need to correct myself on something else I said. The pound of flesh actually is from the Merchant of Venice, not the Two Gentlemen of Verona.
That's
So
awesome,
Facebook, I corrected myself.
Unfortunately, I
don't need it.
Unfortunately,
Jonathan's going to leave the correction out so Facebook still harasses you.
I wish I could correct myself with all these wrong answers.
Is it Iago who demanded the pound of flesh?
It was Shylock.
Oh,
Shylock is
Iago was Othello, yeah.
Othello. All right, got my wrong
Shylock
characters.
is the name that I get Prospero mixed up with.
Your last category in the round is in music.
Music.
I was waiting. Who is the only person to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 3 times?
I knew this. Oh my god, I knew this.
I've heard this before.
Yeah, I have too.
We've done this before. We've done it before.
I've asked this question before. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm fairly confident, but we'll talk.
I'm going to write down a bunch of names, and hopefully one of them will be the answer that you say, and then I can say, yeah, I knew that.
Do it.
I had that written down too.
But you seem to have 600 names on your piece of paper.
Just being thorough.
We're going to lock in.
All right, guys, I'm pretty sure it's Clapton.
Okay, because what are the categories? Because obviously it's not 3 times for the same thing.
Solo, Cream, and the other
Is
band.
it Derek and the Dominoes? Or
Yeah, pretty sure.
that is one of the names I wrote down, by the way.
Okay, I'm fairly confident it's Clapton.
All right, let's do it.
I know that Layla, something, and there's a third song that all hit number 1 that are all written about Patty Boyd, and they're written by different people too. So
That's interesting.
yeah, Eric Clapton and George Harrison married the same woman, not at the same time, but
It's Clapton.
So you locked in?
Yeah.
Clapton.
We didn't say Clapton.
We did not. We did say a Beatle, though.
Yeah, we were hoping for the Wings Beatles solo combination and went with McCartney.
This artist was inducted as solo and then separately as a member of Cream and the Yardbirds. It is Eric
Yardbirds.
Clapton.
All right. Nice.
Oh, Sam, we are sucking right now,
That's
bro.
right. We're turning it around right here.
We are?
Yeah.
You sure?
Guaranteed.
Oh,
He's guaranteeing a turnaround.
That's right.
What's the score?
It's 116 to 66. We need a turnaround.
We got this.
Honestly, like Clapton there, I knew that.
Yeah.
I'm struggling today for some reason.
It's all right.
I'm okay with it.
Was he in the Traveling Wilburys?
No, it was the Yardbirds.
Okay.
Oh, man. Brain is hard.
but you do look beautiful tonight.
You look wonderful tonight. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's start a new round, shall we? Your 5th round begins with a question in movie Tribond. Name the actor or actress who appeared in the following movies: Tyson, Spawn, and The Dark Knight.
Oh God. Be really helpful. I can remember this actor's name.
The first movie was Tyson,
Yeah.
Yes.
like Mike Tyson.
Spelled the same way, yes.
Oh, it would be so helpful if I could remember his name right now.
Do you know other things he was in? Or if you could describe who he was, then when we're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've not seen either of these 3 movies.
If I have the right guy and have the wrong name, I'm sorry. And I'm sorry in advance. We're locked in.
Okay, so I can't remember his name for the life of me. It was the guy who played Spawn, and in Dark Knight, he was like one of the bosses that Joker took out. I can't remember his name for the life of me.
Is he in anything else?
I mean, obviously, I just can't think of.
How old is he?
I've never heard of the movie Tyson, and I
Yeah,
Spawn,
I didn't watch Tyson.
Subtitle is a chicken nugget story.
I'd watch that.
How old is he?
describe him.
Is he white, black?
He's black. Well, at least at the Dark Knight point, I'm not pulling it.
What'd you say? How old was he?
Probably in his 40s.
40s. Is he conventionally handsome?
I mean, I'd say he's like an average-looking dude.
He's a black guy who made it in Hollywood. He had to pass a lot of hurdles to get there. That dude's going to be good looking.
I can't remember his name for the life of me. It's driving me crazy right now. I'm not going to pull it. I know exactly who it is because I love Spawn.
Well, throw out something because I got nothing. Sorry. I think I can picture who you're talking about, but
Yeah.
but I'm nowhere near his name.
Is it like Michael T. or has he been in stuff for a while, or is he a relatively new actor?
Spawn's not exactly new.
Spawn was like 93, 94?
Oh, was it? I've never seen it. 93, 94. It's not like Cuba Gooding Jr. or something.
No,
Right?
it's not. Oh, that would be great, though. Let's do a Spawn remake with Cuba.
All right.
Johnson it, even though I know that's not it.
Yeah, Johnson.
Go with Johnson. I like it.
Go with Lucky Johnson.
No, just Johnson. No first name.
So Drew told the same story that I told Sam. I was like, okay, this guy played Spawn. I think he was one of the mob bosses when Joker was making his rise in The Dark Knight. And the name that came to me, and I'll feel really bad if I get the name wrong, but I said Michael Jai White.
Oh, I don't think you got it. Drew looks like you really definitely didn't.
No, he did get it, and ironically, I was like, I don't know why White is sticking in my head. That was the name I was thinking about, just pulling. Oh!
He said Michael. I was like, oh god, they're gonna.
I know when he said Michael T, I'm like, oh
he just
no.
fell off his chair. Drew,
Yeah,
are you
so
okay? You just fell off your chair.
I'm good.
he was he played Mike Tyson in the HBO movie Tyson. He also was Jax Briggs in all the Mortal Kombat movies.
Yep.
He is definitely a sex symbol, and his name is Michael Jai White.
There we go. Turnaround has begun.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, you were saying everything that I was thinking, and I was like, oh, man, he's going to get this. Why didn't you spit out the name you were thinking of?
Yeah, why didn't you say White?
I just felt like
Johnson.
I was really wrong on that.
It was Righter than White. I mean, Johnson.
It was a lot righter.
It was also a lot whiter.
There is nothing whiter than white.
Also, he was a white
Right
guy.
about that. You're white about that.
It was a white guy.
It was a white guy.
It's a white guy.
See, that was the problem. You said he was a black guy.
He ended up being a white guy.
Yeah, it was a white guy.
Your second question in this round was inspired by our friend Kel Sowers.
So this is about bad beer?
This is the category is 4-letter words.
4-letter words.
What 4-letter word is a standard measurement for firewood, an alternate name for a pulmonary disease, or decorative trim comprised of multiple strands sewn together?
You guys got it?
I think so.
I think so.
We're locked in.
I don't know what that second one means, but
So
I was
it's a
thinking
chord,
cord.
right? Yeah.
Chord's what I got, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's say cord.
Locked in?
Locked
Yeah.
in?
All right, we said it was a cord of firewood.
Yes, cord of firewood. Cord is multiple strands sewn together. On a lot of military uniforms. And then CORD, chronic obstructive respiratory disorder, is an alternative for COPD.
Wow.
It's a PD. Okay.
It is cord. Thank you, Kel. Your last question around is in science.
Oh,
Science.
What Swedish chemist invented dynamite in 1867?
we're locked in.
Nobel.
It was Nobel, yeah.
All right. Locked
Either
in.
that or
Locked out.
dynamite. I was gonna
No,
guess
it's got to be Nobel because it's always funny because it's like a Nobel Peace Prize. But
Yeah.
Nobel invented dynamite. That's not
Oh,
peace
right,
stuff.
right, yeah.
Yeah, so locked in with Nobel.
Yeah, we'll lock Nobel in.
You sure it's not Jimmy Walker? he invented dynamite. We also said Nobel. So the reason it's funny because those things are related. His reputation was awful.
His wife's
He was
Right.
seen as a person who had done really destructive, horrible things, and so he donated his fortune or part of his fortune after his death to create the Nobel Prizes to rehabilitate his own image. That was why they exist. So it's kind of cool. So we said Nobel.
It worked. Everyone thinks he's a great guy now.
Exactly.
Correct answer is Alfred Nobel.
At the end of the fifth round, scores 136-96. Josh, Drew, and Patrick still in the lead. But we're not going to get locked out, Sam.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
It's going to come down to wagers.
Well, and getting the gauntlet right. That makes a difference, too.
Sure. Your sixth round begins with a question from Kylie Diggs.
Thank you, Kylie.
Category is music.
music.
Make the people... No. Oh. I did it. I did it about a half second early.
The first MTV news program was called The Week in Rock, hosted by what former Rolling Stone editor and MTV mainstay?
We're locked in.
Gentlemen, I believe this is Kurt Loder.
That would be a good guess. Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, locked in.
All right, Jonathan and I both wrote down Kurt Loder independently, so we are going with that. We're locked in.
He is the MTV news guy. He is Kurt Loder.
He was, and then Tabitha took over.
Yep.
Tabitha Sorensen, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. Yep.
Yeah.
She's a movie producer now, or she has like a company that greenlights movies.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Well, 4 of the original folks are still doing Sirius XM.
Really?
They do the 80s channel.
Wow.
Nice. It's pretty cool. Yeah. It's funny how MTV doesn't really have music on it anymore. It's really interesting.
That joke was funny 20 years ago.
Well, there's like no learning on the Learning Channel.
Yeah.
Hey,
well, no, I learned a lot on the Learning Channel.
I need my Ancient Aliens.
I learned a lot. I learned how to not throw up when I watch people get surgery on their feet. All right.
Because that's a skill you need in your day-to-day life.
That is the grocery show on TV, and I love it. Absolutely. Your second question round, and also your last question, come from Jay Hyatt.
Thank you, Jay.
This category is the saddest musical ever.
Aww.
In Les Miserables, what is Jean Valjean's prisoner number? And for 2 bonus points, if the number were a zip code, what state would it be in?
Dude, I don't know. I never seen it.
I have some ideas.
I got a chance at the bonus if you know what the answer is.
Yeah, no, I very much know what the answer is.
All right.
Les Mis is my favorite musical.
They didn't mention this in the Cliff Notes to Les Mis in high school, so.
Oh, but there's like a whole song about it in the musical, right? Maybe I should shut up while they're talking.
Please don't. Please don't shut up.
Just sing songs from a different musical.
He's like, yeah, keep talking so we can gather some hints from you. Shit, I should have been
The
listening.
avenue I'm taking you to, 42nd Street.
So I'll tell you, gentlemen, Jonathan never cheats, but he will use information that you give him against you.
The sun will come out
Pardon me.
tomorrow.
Bet your bottom dollar that.
Actually, wait, I'm
Tomorrow.
pretty sure I know the state, too.
Ooh. Hey, Drew, before you say it, can I guess the last 3? Because I think I might know those.
Okay.
I mean, it's not going to matter for anything. I just want to see if I knew it.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, the first 2 will be the state.
We're locked in.
Does it end in 324?
No.
No? I have that
It's,
in my head from something.
Does it
It's-
end
it's
in
246.
7309?
No, it's 24601, and I'm pretty sure, I want to say it's Maryland.
Ooh, that's really close. 24601. Virginia, I'm 22003 where I live, and I believe further south, 24450, I believe is where I went to college.
What state was that?
Virginia. Also Virginia.
Well, then I say we go Virginia, then. If you had a zip code that started with
Maryland.
Yeah. Let's say
So 24601 in Virginia. Locked in.
How in the hell do you know that?
You talking about the number or the
yeah,
state?
the number. Well, the state, I
love
don't care.
Les Mis. Are you kidding me? I love Les Mis. It's my favorite musical.
Oh,
It is like a whole song about Prisoner
Yeah.
24601, right?
Oh,
yeah.
is
Yeah.
there? Okay.
Yeah. That's the part that I said that Sam heard, and
Yeah.
I should have shut up.
No, I disagree
Well,
with that.
neither one of us have seen this.
Our goal is to come up with a 5-digit number that was correct. So, out of all of them. We had to stab in the
only 100,000 choices there.
Yeah.
We went with 00812 because we didn't want to say OU 812 because that U was going to mess it up. So 00812, and we guessed New York.
Jean Valjean's prisoner number is indeed 24601, and that zip code is located in the state of Virginia.
Woo! Boom!
Wow, good job. There's some serious teamwork happening on that team right now. They're all
That team
like
is good.
supporting each other's answers. It's pretty good.
Your last question before the gauntlet, as I said, came also from Jay Hyatt. Category is geography.
Geography.
What city is the only state capital, so U.S. state, to be named after a person that was executed?
I got some good ideas we can discuss.
Define executed in this case. Like execution style or executed by an authority?
Executed by an authority.
We're going to lock in.
All right, what are your thoughts?
All right.
I was trying to think of state capitals that
I
sounded
believe
like last
Columbus died of old age.
Okay.
I don't think Raleigh was executed. I don't know who Montgomery is.
Right, or Jackson.
Well, Jackson was a president. He was not.
Well, right,
executed.
but what?
Stephen F. Austin, I don't believe is executed, but I believe St. Paul was executed.
Oh, St. Paul.
Let's roll with it.
I like that.
We'll lock in St. Paul.
Yeah,
No, Minnesota.
Wait.
The state? The city.
I want the city.
All right, St. Paul.
Right, we'll lock in St. Paul.
St. Paul.
That's the right answer. Sorry. I didn't get there.
You're the West Coast guy.
Yeah, I didn't get all the way there. We said Raleigh.
Give me a moment.
Oh, maybe he's having to check.
If you're checking,
Maybe
St.
we're both
Paul
right.
was executed.
But maybe it was named after a different St. Paul. Arr.
So that's what I'm checking. St. Paul was definitely executed. I'm just verifying whether St. Paul was named after that St. Paul or a different saint.
Um,
I think I'm going to have to accept both answers.
Yeah, I think St. Paul's a very valid answer.
Yeah, I'm going to accept both answers because they're technically both
So Raleigh
correct.
was correct.
Raleigh's also correct.
I thought that he
Which is
had
the
some.
best
The answer given from Jay was Raleigh.
Yeah.
But St. Paul in this case is also a correct
I think that's
answer.
great.
So credit to both teams.
All right.
good.
Outstanding.
Patrick.
How about that? Both teams pull in one of the right answers. That's nothing wrong with
That was
that.
the first time for everything.
I think Raleigh was my second guess, but
I thought that he had some pirating or had a plot against the king or something, and that's exactly what happened. You guys, going into the gauntlet here, you guys have had a great game. 168 points to 116 points. Our final score is equal to your score at the end of the fourth round. Wow.
it's going to be a shame when we screw up this question, though.
Well, hey, live in the moment. You've earned it. All right, what's the category for the gauntlet, Ben?
Your gauntlet category is famous generals.
All right. All right, we're locked in. Our wager is locked in.
Our wager is locked in.
All right, here's your first question in the gauntlet, famous generals. In 2013, General Electric sold its shares to what media company with Comcast as the buyer?
Wait, say again?
In 2013, General Electric sold its shares to what media company with Comcast as the buyer? So they owned a media company and they sold it to Comcast. I want the name of the company they sold.
Oh, I thought you were saying they sold it to a media company.
No, they sold
And Comcast was the buyer.
Yeah, that's why I clarified. They sold
Gotcha.
a company to Comcast. What's the name of that company?
We're locked in.
All right, our answer's locked in.
Okay. Your second question, famous generals. The General Lee was arguably the biggest star on the Dukes of Hazzard. What were the first names of the Duke brothers?
We're locked in. You should have asked for the cousins.
That's Bo and Luke.
Drew, would you have gotten it if he'd asked for the cousins' names?
No.
Oh, damn it. Why didn't you ask for the cousins?
Oh, that was like one season after they had the
It
contract
was one or
dispute,
two
right?
seeds. Man, that question's so damn easy. It's ridiculous. Ah, sorry, I'm bitter. Go ahead.
So y'all locked in?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, sorry, our answer is locked in. We're supposed to say that. Hey. All right.
All right, here's your last question. George Custer was a general due to a battlefield promotion during the Civil War, but he was a lieutenant colonel at the time of his death, which occurred in what U.S. territory and eventual state of the same name?
I'll lock that in.
Me too.
We're locked
All right,
in.
so we're locked in.
Ben's gauntlet questions were a lot easier than his regular questions.
Yeah, we're locked in.
So in 2013, General Electric sold its shares to what media company with Comcast as the buyer?
We said NBC.
You also
NBC.
said NBC.
And BC.
All right. What were the first names of the Duke brothers?
We went with Bo and Luke.
We too went with Bo and Luke.
And where did George Custer? Where did he die? Where was the place of his death?
He died at Little Bighorn. It's in Montana, the current state of Montana.
That's right. I have been there. It's been Montana.
So that played a lot easier than I thought it was going to.
It was a hell of a lot easier than the rest of the game, that's for sure.
Well, that's what happens when a bad trivia player writes questions. It's hard to tell which ones are hard and which ones aren't. All right, but y'all have been tolerating it for 5 years, so I guess I'm doing okay.
Oh, man.
All right. So GE sold its shares to NBC Universal to Comcast. We'll accept NBC as an answer. The Duke brothers are indeed Bo and Luke.
The cousins would have been Coy and Vance, by the way.
Ah, gotcha.
Oh, nice.
Was Daisy a cousin also?
She was.
Yeah, okay.
John Schneider and Tom Wopat, right?
Yes.
Indeed they were.
Nice job.
They were reunited on Smallville years later. And General Custer was killed at the Battle of Little Bighorn in Montana Territory.
All right.
Everybody got it right.
Everybody got it right. It means it's come down to wagers. Gentlemen, I can tell you that Sam and I felt confident in our knowledge of historical generals. We bet it all, 116, so we doubled up to 232 points. That means you need to have wagered 64 to tie or more than 64 to win. What did you wager?
So we had the debate, going over how you guys were going to wager, and I said I felt more comfortable covering your all-in bet, and I'm really glad that we did that because we wagered 65.
Yeah. With a final score of 233 to 232, your winners today are Patrick Smith, Drew Buxbaum, and Josh Mullan.
Congrats.
Gentlemen, that was a really well-played game. Y'all did really, really well as a team.
That was a lot of fun. I wouldn't have done nearly as well if I didn't have these two guys. That's for sure.
I think each of you complimented each other pretty darned well.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
Absolutely.
Oh, all right. I told Sam when we were wagering, I said, if Drew picks, they're going all in. And he's like, yeah, but I think the other ones will talk him down. But in the end, I was like, it's just not worth it for us to protect against the 13 or whatever it was that we would have to protect against. So that's why we went all in.
Drew, the reason I wanted to cover you guys going all in is because I knew you were going to say that I was going to push for a big bet.
Yep.
Indeed.
Oh, well. If it had been a harder question, things might have been different, but they weren't.
Yeah, Jonathan's strategy there is good in terms of trying to anticipate the other team. I always start my line of thinking with what is the range of bets that are reasonable, right? So from 0 to whatever it is. And in you guys' case, there's no reason why you would bet more than 71 points.
That's
it just
right.
doesn't make any sense.
I agree with that.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'd like to give everybody a chance to do a shout out or to promote a cause that they care about. Drew Buxbaum, we're going to start with you.
Yeah. So my cause actually right now is actually up on my Facebook page if anyone wants to go to it. My mother passed from colon cancer a few years back, so every March I do a run up here, a 5K. So colon cancer is kind of my cause, so that's what I'm promoting.
All
Not
right.
getting colon cancer,
No.
finding a cure for it.
You're against
Yes.
it?
I'm anti-colon cancer.
And I have a friend who runs a show called the Colon Cancer Podcast, which is a great resource for anybody who might be struggling with that.
Nice.
All right, Josh, your turn.
All right, I would say cancer research in general is good, but I'd say find something local to you and donate your money to them to help the people that are around you. My wife has a brain tumor, and so we visit the Ivy Brain Tumor Center down in Seattle pretty often, and so it's great to see support for that local place because it's full of a bunch of great doctors and a bunch of people that are able to support my wife, our family, and her treatment. And so it's near and dear to me is supporting not only just research about tumors, cancer, illness, but something that's local to you so that you're impacting the people directly in your community.
Absolutely. Very good. Patrick, you're up.
I don't have many causes. It might come as a surprise. I'm a middle-aged white man who doesn't have a podcast. But
you're a rare bird.
That's the real surprise.
I heard recently the Pope was advocating that people for Lent give up being an internet troll. So I think I get behind that. And maybe you can just get rid of stop being an internet troll forever.
Wow.
Not just for Lent.
I love that. I actually really love that.
That's really great.
Treat people nicely, even online.
Indeed.
Very cool. Thank you. And we're going to wrap it up with Sam.
Yeah, just ask that you listen to Dinner Guest Rejects. It helps if I pronounce it correctly. But yeah, check it out.
Very
it's
cool.
20 minutes of your time that you won't miss.
All right. I was just thinking, unlike their wagering strategy.
Get out
It did take a minute.
Hey, paid off. Paid off.
You're not wrong. It paid off. It was a good job. All right, that's going to wrap us up. So for Drew, for Patrick, for Josh, for Sam, and for Ben, my name is Jonathan, and this has been another episode of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped TrivialWarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit ProPodcastingServices.com.
Josh, I don't know if you realize this. This is the second time you've beat me on Trivial Warfare.
Oh, wow.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's like, I knew you looked familiar.
I was like, I know that
I
voice.
ground you into powder.
Hey, before we get going, this is a big coffee mug. I need to take my own pause for the cause, if you know what I mean.
He's taking a pause for the cause.
All right, I can take 5 and go to the restroom if you need to.
Your second question around was yeah, we're going to do that again.
Namaste.
What is going on? You can't think and I can't talk.
It's usually the other way around.
It usually is.
Ooh, that was something. Yeah, so honestly, it's funny because you guys went through all the right logic, and kudos because all the decisions you made, everything sounded right. To shorten that for the future, if you ever want to shorten that, the question you have to answer is, what do you think we're going to do? As soon as you ask and answer that question, that tells you what to wager without any other details. But that is what it is at this point. That's 5 minutes of my life I'll never get back.
Ouch! Well, if you had made it a more competitive game, we might have had an easier wager.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I did have time to notice that Ben and I are both wearing lanyards with nothing attached to them right now. So.
Oh, yeah. True.
I do think that's
The same lanyard.
The same lanyard, yeah. They got my early bird specials.
I mean, Comcast owns NBC.
Yeah.
That sounds right. Yeah, the G building used to be where NBC was located in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
You got to
So
say it
NBC?
like Howard Stern had to say it.
WNBC.
WNBC.
NBC.